Hello everybody, today's a trade cap for January 22nd, 2026, and I took two trades on Meta, both on Meta, right? And first one was a break-even trade, and the second one was a pretty nice trade, so I'll kind of break down what I saw on both those names and kind of how I executed that second trade kind of poorly, right? But pretty much, right, I was actually gonna call it a day after the first trade break even, but I can't end off around my red month. I can't do that. So I'll kind of break down what I kind of saw, and of course, the names I play, they had nice continuation. Tesla also has some news, right? This candle, this pop right here, this volume is unusual too. I don't know, I'm not sure, but there for sure news here. Like this is for sure a news type of push. But yeah. So today, right? Very boring day, right? QQ and SPY just kind of coming down and then just like not doing anything crazy, right? No crazy price action, right? Just we came down a little bit and then we kind of reversed back up and we're pretty much choppy for the day. Most important is what the tech did, right? So tech was also pretty shit, right? Amazon. I mean, no separate Amazon, right? Because it's a little reversal. They just follow QQ and SPY. Nvidia market open, nothing. Tesla market open, right? The choppy, AMD choppy, Meta, right? So Meta, right? So I thought Meta kind of showing we have relative strength, right? Because we're breaking above our pre-market high. We're also showing some higher time frame, kind of bouncing off that 600 key level. So I was interested to play this name, right? So the only downside playing Meta is the contracts are kind of widespread apart, right? That's why I took this first loss, simply because I kind of entered in without thinking about the spread. So when I entered in, right, and if the trade didn't go my way, right, if the trade came down here, I would have lost like 30 to 30, 25%, and it would have been a really, really big loss, right, in options. So I entered that, realized that very quickly that okay, what the like holy shit, like the contracts I bought were too I bought in the money contracts, but you have to buy deeper in the money on Meta because you want your contracts to kind of hold price if it does pull back, right? Because the spreads are absolutely horrendous. I don't know why they're so bad on Meta for some reason. Like I don't know why like other names are the spreads are good and the Meta is bad. I actually don't know why that's a thing. Something to do with the price, or I'm not actually sure. But just Meta's contracts are really bad, right? So the first trade I tried taking a sell for break even, right? That's the mindset played out, right? It played out, but my position was actually wrong, so it would have been gambling essentially, right? I was sticking to my plan, so I exited out of the trade. But my set kind of worked out. Essentially, just pretty much, I just want to see this continuation off this fair value gap, right? This market open momentum. I saw this nice green candle above this order block, so I want to see this 5 minute range high plus the order block hold, right? Which we did see it hold, and we got that nice push to the upside. So $3 move. So those contracts I did like have if anyone else did it. It went up like 60% in those $3 like three candles, so more than 60%, right? But of course, me break even because I'm trying to manage my risk and I'm trying to actually make money long term. So second trade, right? So I was actually gonna call it a day, and it was actually really sad because imagine ending off your entire green month because of like a break even trade, right? So I took a second trade, right, waiting for more confluences, right? So this is not a revenge trading because revenge trading is when like you're taking another trade in a very small amount of time and you're making up confluences, making up thing, right? Making up like the reasons to get in the trade, right? This was kind of more based off the market context, right? Because the market was kind of recovering, right? We kind of saw the market kind of making a V-shaped recovery, which it kind of did do. So I was kind of right about that. But I saw us reclaiming these key levels, right? These key levels that we kind of broke earlier before. So with the same context in mind that QQ Inspire breaking or reclaiming those levels, I want to take Meta because I know Meta had relative strength at a higher time frame. So if QQ Inspire can kind of push up, then Meta can also push up, and that's literally what it did, right? Like look at this insane fucking move, right? So I did take a trade and like did make a decent amount, right? Like for the position size I had, right? Entered calls simply above the 363 key level, right? Stop loss below that 363, right? Because we did kind of consolidate above this 363. So after we break below it, reclaim that level, right? So that shows that we're kind of reclaiming that level of strong price action, right? Some of my entries, right? I like seeing a push, a rejection, and then a reclaim. That like shows it's even like that shows that buyers are stepping back up again after sellers just brought the price back down. So that shows to me that it's bullish price action. So simply that's what I saw here. So I can safely have my stop loss below that 363 level, right? And so I just wanted to see continuation, right? Because it's like you can start pushing. So pretty much because this trade was kind of choppy, right? So only had like a $2 move in like 10 minutes, right? So, but this pop here is very nice, right? So, took my first scales right at this high day pop, right? And we had a huge drop. So this drop took me back down to 2%, right? So I wicked down, so it probably went down a little bit red. But good thing the next candle we had a huge pop up, right? So I'll kind of explain to you guys how you can kind of understand like what's like a organic like selling and what's a unorganic selling, right? So at this area, right, what I was looking at this, I'll kind of explain to you guys some sauce real quick, right? It's 4 minutes, and I'll explain to you guys like if you guys are actual traders, right? So what's happening on this stuff? So we had a huge candle to the downside, right? So this is a dollar move down, right? While we're in an uptrend. And so what's happening on QQQ and SPY, right? So at this candle, QQ is just at VWAP, right? And SPY is at VWAP. So I expect turbulent price action on QQ and SPY, right? But I want Meta with relative strength to kind of hold those key levels, right? So at the next candle, right? SPY showed a green candle while Meta has a very strong red candle. And same with QQ. So QQ and SPY both a green candle while Meta is kind of dumping, right? So I want to see if we can get faked out from this area, right? Because I know QQ and SPY are bullish. So I have some confluences that are kind of like pushing his name to the upside, right? So second candle, right? I want to see us kind of show like, instantly that we're going to reclaim to the upside, right? And we had a very strong push to the upside, right? It's QQ and SPY again push up to the upside, right? So QQ and SPY pretty much saved this trade, right? If QQ and SPY came to the downside, we're not getting this big of a reaction, right? So very strong candle close, man. Very strong candle closure, right? And and then after this, right? This move out here was break even up to 30%, right? So it took majority of my position off 30%, right? And you simply want to see this fair value gap form and then us kind of consolidate and push to the upside. But unfortunately, we came down, broke below. So after we broke below this fair value gap down here, I exited the rest of my position, unfortunately. And then we came back down on Meta, right? We kind of consolidated at that 363 level, which was my key level earlier. And then QQ and SPY continued that bullish uptrend. So then Meta also with relative strength just made higher highs and higher lows the rest of the day. And, really unfortunate that I kind of got stopped out a little bit early on this trade, right? But managing risk is the most important thing, right? You're not trying to catch the whole like entire move. You're trying to just catch a piece of the move, right? Sometimes you can catch the entire move, right? And those are the good, beautiful days, right? But that doesn't happen every single day, right? So again, if I wanted to really trade this name again, I could have technically entered, right? Clearly relative strength on his name. You could have entered what entry could I even see? I don't even know. I mean, this price action candle right here is pretty nice, right off this order block. But it's also so late in the day that you don't even want to take trades, right? Because the volume is so dead, the momentum is kind of dead. Like assuming, right? Of course, we kind of had very nice price action, but you can't kind of predict that beforehand. So yeah, so that's pretty much a trade cap, right? So two trades on Meta, up what 780, $710. So nothing too crazy, right? For the first trade, actually, if I kept my full position size right, I was up 60% pretty much 3 minutes, but the downside was like 30%, right? So if I held over down here, I'm pretty sure the contracts were probably easily went down like 20%, 30%. So imagine being down 20, 30%. And then we kind of held market structure still, right? So I would have gone stopped out yet, right? Because I want to wait for the candle to close. But like, that's if, of course the step is good, the high time frame is good, the QQ is good, but like my entry and the contracts I bought were not good, right? So not everything was perfect. So I decided to like just play it some safe instead of just being risky, right? So if I was like a degen, or if I was like a little bit of like a degen, like a worse trader, I would have technically made more money. But yeah, it's part of the game. If I held my position right, I actually had 50 contracts. So out of actually I have 50 contracts. Actually, I have 20 contracts. Okay, I don't know where I got 50 contracts from. I have 20 contracts. So 20 contracts, and yeah, so that's pretty much trader cap, right? If you guys have any questions down below, um, just message it me and mm, 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 mm. Yeah, so I don't even know if this is accurate because I remember the contracts when I went back to look at it, the contracts say like 290. So I guess it only gives you the time span of within the trade, not after, which completely makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty much a trade recap today, right? Um, like a lot of people I know that are good traders, right? Didn't take a trade today. Some people like took losses on other names, right? On like QQ and SPY because no other tech name was even tradable, right? So today was just a day of consolidation, right? After insane moves the past week. So today you want to save capital, save your mental strength for the bigger moves that'll come, right? That will be coming, right? Because now we're setting up really nicely on like a lot of these names, AMD especially, right? AMD will for sure be something I'll be watching. But yeah, that's pretty much a trade cap, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.